Okay, so I literally just did this video and just spit all of the wisdom that I needed to spit for 10 straight minutes. And TikTok did me absolutely wrong. It did not even upload. I don't know if it's some kind of glitch going on with TikTok, but wow. Okay, so I'm going to lean on the Holy Spirit to recount all the details of everything that I just spoke, because this needs to be said. I want to go in detail about people's expectations of what deliverance looks like. Please hear my heart in this situation, okay? Because this is coming from a heart, a place in my heart that truly desires for people to be set free. And a lot of people will not be set free if they have these unrealistic expectations. And if they have unrealistic expectations, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to go back to the world because you did not truly understand what deliverance should look like. Okay. One thing I want to address is that I notice that there are people that come to deliverance ministers like myself with expectations of us almost being like Houdini, or as if we're sorcerers. We're not waving a magic wand that is going to cast a demon out, and from that point, magically your life is just going to be transformed and restored and renewed. That is not what deliverance looks like. That's not who we are. That's not what we provide, okay? Deliverance is comprised of 3 participants: yourself, the deliverer, and the Holy Spirit, okay? And everybody's deliverance is not the same. Everybody's deliverance is yielded to how the Holy Spirit wants that person to be delivered, okay? The only way that that person is going to be fully delivered is not because I say so. It's not because it's when you think it should happen, but it's yielded to the will of the Holy Spirit, just like anything else. The same way that God's will for our lives looks a certain way, so does deliverance, okay? I think the issue is that people come, and when they have these expectations, they need to understand that you have to live a certain lifestyle. Number one, that lifestyle needs to consist of you consistently reading the word, you fasting and praying, you consistently implanting the word in you. The more word you put in, the more will come out. And then also, just because a demon has been cast out does not mean that Satan is not going to continuously come to tempt you, okay? He's going to attack the mind. That's how he attacks. And the reason it's important that you pay attention to your lifestyle is because our soul is comprised of our mind, our will, and our emotions. And when a demon inhabits us, that's the part it controls, or that's the part that it affects, is our mind, our will, and our emotions. Okay? So a lot of times we respond unfavorably in our emotions. Our will to do certain things dissipate. So we want to and desire to read the word. We may not feel like doing it because the enemy is affecting our will to do the right thing. And our mind might be consistently battling thoughts that are ungodly. Okay? So deliverance is a lifestyle. It's not something that you come and get one time and then all of a sudden your life is changed. It's a lifestyle. So every 3 to 6 months, we need to check ourselves to make sure we're not living in and allowed any unforgiveness to creep in, any bitterness to creep in. We have to make sure that we haven't allowed any anger to creep in. So deliverance is not something you just have one time and that you think just casts a demon out and then you are magically changed, okay? And so you have your part to do outside of us doing the deliverance action. You have your part to do. In order to maintain your deliverance, you must be living a certain way. And you must be living a certain way, yielding to the Holy Spirit's will for that deliverance. So even though you might be living righteously, you might be doing exactly what the Holy Spirit said you needed to be doing, you need to understand that it's up to the Holy Spirit to decide when you are fully set free. Okay? Some of you come out of the world and you've been living a hellish life of sin your entire lives. And then you come over to being a believer and you expect this microwave popcorn deliverance, and that at a snap of a finger, everything's going to change and be different for you. That's not how it works. It just doesn't. So when you come over to dealing with, following Christ, the Lord is going to test you. Okay, he's going to test you. If you've been living your whole life doing whatever you want to do, and then you all of a sudden come over to him and you just change just like that, what do you think is the chances of you switching back over to the world because you think, oh, that was easy. When I get ready, I can just go back to Christ and he'll fix me up. The Lord is not having that. Okay? You can't outsmart the Holy Spirit. So there are some people who may be living righteously, but still plagued with demonic oppression, still dealing with sleep paralysis, still not able to sleep at night, still dealing with poverty and suffering. But the Lord sometimes allows the enemy to remain in your court to see and test you whether or not you're going to get tired and say, you know what, this stuff is not working. I might as well go back to smoking. I might as well go back to fornicating and drinking and just living how I was living without any, conviction. Which once you invite the Holy Spirit in, if you go back, there's always now going to be some conviction. The Holy Spirit, once he lives inside of you, he just don't release you like that. Okay. The conviction will be there. But he's testing you. Are you going to continue to remain in his presence just because your outer lifestyle is not conducive to how you think it should look? Are you now going to change your mindset on whether or not the Lord is true, the Lord is faithful, the Lord is righteous? Are you going to now allow yourself to be led by your flesh because your deliverance did not look how you thought it should look? Are you going to throw Christ and throw his will to the dogs because it didn't feel how you thought it would feel? We got to start thinking about these things. The Lord wants you to remove your expectations. Okay? He's not a respecter of persons, but everybody's situation is different. So you need to understand that as you go through that process of your deliverance. I see some people that say, oh, this person, they came to the altar, they got a demon cast out of them, and immediately their life just went completely different, and their lifestyle was just, oh my gosh. But yet you did not see the 10 years of laying on their face, fasting, praying, suffering, oppression that person went through before that altar call. You did not see what that person dealt with. All you saw was them come to that altar, that demon get cast out, and their life change. But their life may have changed because the Holy Spirit rewarded them for their consistency and their obedience to his will. So I want us, the reason it was important for me to do this is because I know that many of you need deliverance, but you have a false expectation of what that looks like. Remove your expectations. Allow the Holy Spirit to move in his time. Surrender to his will in all aspects and live your life righteously. And he will deliver you when he sees fit. God bless.